What's up, world? So, I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently here for my second episode, which is all about identity and identifying. I'm going to read out something instead, so my eyes won't be exactly focused on this camera. I'm going to be reading away exactly what I want to convey, because my ADHD mind, even if I were to put like little structured notes like A, B, just doesn't operate that way. I'm so much better at reading something out. So here we go. It's about the importance of knowing your identity and identifying for betterment. In my experience and opinion, taking the mindfulness of identifying yourself is extremely important. To know who you are and the person you are desiring and choosing to be is the foundation of the steps needed to get to the good place in life we want for ourselves. Even when we are stuck in a feeling of not loving ourselves, it's not true that we don't. We do love ourselves, but we are not in love with the struggles that we may face. An old buddy of mine once said, "Life is great. It's the circumstances that suck. It's just learning how to face and deal with them." See, that's the process. And once we acquire the skills and ability to deal with them proactively and efficiently as we can, life, in fact, does become great. So knowing ourselves and knowing what we want in and out of our future selves is the first step in moving forward, because it can help develop the plan to make it happen. Look, as I mentioned before, I ain't no life coach. My life is kind of messy at the moment due to a chronic illness and losing the security of my future due to the chronic illness, coupled with poor decisions made that did not ensure I would be stable enough for something like this to even happen. Thankfully, the ones that I love, the ones who love me, even though they know me for all my flaws, came together and are supporting me through one of the hardest times in my adult life. The stuff that I'm sharing with you may have been said before, but I want to help solidify this, because maybe the spin that I put on this may chime in with someone that may have heard this stuff before, but it did not click or stick. It's happened to me. Who are you? What do you want to be? Well, if you asked me, I would say that I am a caring, loving, warm-spirited man that wants to be surrounded by great people who will influence me and teach me how to build upon that. I want to be strong in the sense of breaking through my fears so that I may utilize my talents and skill sets to create a successful life for myself that I get to share with others. Money is nice, but I seek the empowerment to be that kind of guy that can offer more, whether it's having the ability to take my friends and family out for a vacation, or to gift them some things that they have always been wanting and deserve, or most especially, assist them in their time of need, no matter if we are close or if it's a stranger in need. And knowing this is fine-tuning my mind to put together and work through the plan of how I'm going to get there. The path to resolution becomes more defined. Goals may likely change along the way. One of my favorite idols, Bruce Lee, knew that goals are important, but we don't always need to get there, because new goals can and will likely be created along the way for us to get to. As long as we are going up, that's the part that matters. Most things in life are not linear, and it's good to be able to adjust and flex, because that is what change is all about. One thought and or belief may not be the same the next moment. Why? Because we have the ability to learn and be influenced by things that may change them along the way. And that's more than okay. It's great. We were not the same persons we were when we look back 10 years ago. Lots happened that changes us along the way. It's just that a lot of us allow things to define us instead of empowering ourselves to grab hold of the reins to steer ourselves in the right directions. Like I said, I am just the average dude that is still working on himself, but I can tell you that if you look back at me 5, 10, 15, 20 plus years, you know I was always trying to work on myself because I really wanted better for myself. The process of self-improvement is a long road. I have to admit I was always wanting the quick fix. The it has to happen now mindset was strong in the force. Slowly, I have learned in all aspects of my life and in life that this is more of a harmful mindset. Many of us expect quick results. Unless we are talking about instant coffee, this is a very toxic mindset at best. Because if things are going great initially, then something happens that causes us to slide back or fail. Disappointment happens. This great disappointment can destroy our confidence and hopes, therefore dismantling all that we did and were wanting to do. It's best to be kind to yourself. Recognize this is not a race. It's getting used to whatever new inner voice and habits we created, allowing them to remain in practice long enough that it is instilled. An old friend of mine used to say, "Slow down, Jace. You will get there faster." It didn't make sense at first until it made sense. Fact. In my late teens and early 20s, I was a violent and criminal-minded person. Yep, I was involved in a lot of shady things, like breaking into homes, getting into senseless fights, playing with gangsters and killers, even robbing drug dealers on occasion, to say the least. I was an unstable, unhappy person that suffered a magnitude of trauma, and all I knew how to deal with it all was by doling out chaos. I was split down the middle. One half of me was sweet, kind, warm, caring, protective, and helpful. The other part of me was cold, hateful, treacherous, volatile, and harmful. The ugly layers that had amassed in my mind from all the brutal, painful life experiences had drowned out the sweet, lovable personality I organically possessed since birth. As this show progresses, I will be happy to be vulnerable in sharing many of the tragedies I experienced in my life and how they affected me. The most important thing here is that I want you to take away from it all this little diddle. It's never worth going in the wrong direction. It's so much harder to swing back in the right direction. You want better, so quit the bullshit and start now. Don't be like me and develop slowly, living a hurtful life that affects others. Because believe me, I have hurt others. I regret my actions. But if I had committed to acting sooner, I would be in a much better place. But maybe my life experience was destined to help others. Maybe my stories and insight actually hold value. Because if there is one thing I hope for, it's that what I have to share helps a younger person out, so it might spare them the pains and suffering they do not deserve and have the potential to change. Moving on. Work on identifying what is needed for self-improvement. Ones that are most impactful and meaningful to you. As example, I needed to identify that I needed to abandon people that were not good influences. I needed to seek refuge in people with warm hearts and intelligent minds. I needed to spend less time sitting around doing nothing and more time doing things that contributed to my mind, such as self-educating in technology and arts. I needed to let go of my past in order to allow my future to flourish. I needed to learn, what is it that makes me tick? What is it that causes failures in my thoughts and actions? I needed to find support in therapy and support groups. I needed to let the ones that I love help me. And I needed to let go of the ones that I hurt because I was lacking on certain levels. Identifying is a key term for me, as there are others I will share and emphasize on later. And it's super powerful with any and everything. It's when you examine something in depth to get a better understanding of it, putting it under the microscope, dissecting it to consume what it really is and spit out the newfound approach in handling what helps to produce the changes that make it turn out all for the better. We may not get it right the first time, the second, or the third, but as long as we adhere to the lesson and actions we put in place to resolve, it should all work out for the better. There are a ton of resources out there to explore on the good old internet. I don't have any specifics that come to mind at the moment, nor do I care to endorse any. Why? Because I feel it's not my place to tell you where to go and what to do. I'd rather just tell you my story, share my thoughts and life experiences that may point you in the right direction for your own life's journey. And if I do believe for certain that there's something I have and could share that can and will help, I won't hesitate to. I just prefer taking the safe road on this to tell you to trust yourself. You got this. You're listening to this because you want better for yourself. Quit looking for the quick fix. Quit looking for the quick fix. Yeah, I'll say it again. None of it is real. If someone tells you there is, it's likely a gimmick that is all about likes and subscribes for monetary gain, their monetary gain, and you are beyond that. You love yourself. Put in the work. Feel the success. Feel the gains. Feel the strength in your resolve. And I will be here rooting for you for the whole way through. Your big-headed, saber-toothed, laugh-out-loud, goofy-ass cheerleader, Jace Monarch. Peace. One love. And I'm out.